Good evening. Justin Sandler and 3 Cube Studios coming to you live on Facebook. Got a lot of weird random things to go over, so I'm going to hang a couple minutes and waste time while a few people join on board. And then we're going to do something we've never done before and have some fun. How's that sound? While I'm wasting a little bit of time, I'm drinking chlorophyll water with Kangen high pH alkaline water. This is pretty much the deal right here. Keep hydrated, keep feeling good. Lots of people are joining, yay. Okay, cool. By the way, we're in 3 Cube Studios here. Myself and my lovely bride, Mary Lou, run this photo studio, and I want to do something a little different tonight, and I'm going to slouch and chill here because it's a little more comfortable for me. Instead of a typical cancer update from the hospital on how's my health and what's going on, I want to do something like more of a live, I don't know, chat, discussion, sort of rant and rave a little bit, just on some topics, and you're welcome to join for however long you'd like, and you can come and go as you please. I'm probably just going to talk and discuss all kinds of things that are going on in my life and in the world that sort of play together, and how there's lessons that I'm currently learning. So I'm kind of just sharing this to inspire anybody who wants to learn from what I'm going through, or go on a journey with me while I try new things like this, and overcome fears together. This is what this is for. So hang out as long as you want, and I'm going to hopefully hit some cool issues, and also talk about some more uplifting things to put to those issues that sometimes are not so cool. And so with that, let's start. So doing a show like this is kind of like a show, right? It's kind of like, I was really scared to do it, and my Facebook Live wasn't even working. I was trying to put in information and it kept shutting down. And I think it's because I was nervous to kind of get up here and just speak openly, not just about my own issue, but about my opinions on things, do something a little different, a little something musical maybe. These are big fears, I guess you would say, because it's very vulnerable, it's very open. So I guess that was a test, and I kept going. I restarted the internet, I rebooted my phone, I finally got it to work. So I didn't let the technical difficulties keep me from facing the fear. So before I get into it, because I haven't done a video since I've been home from the hospital, just to update you guys, I'm feeling really good. My port is still a little snug up here, where it goes over the collarbone. Just the cord of it itself is a little swollen still, so sometimes it feels a little tight and choky, but aside from that, everything else in my body feels good. I'm eating like a pig and resting, and I'm just trying to take it easy and enjoy myself, and I feel good. And that's it. That's enough of that. Just know that I'm doing good, and I'm staying strong. My diet is perfect, and I'm supplementing and drinking chlorophyll water, cannabis oil, all kinds of goodies, turmeric oil. So so now let's switch dials before I blab on for hours on nothing, and I'm going to talk serious issue, deep issue, but not serious but deep. And the biggest inspiration for doing this video tonight was actually not me or what I'm going through, but it was actually Chris Cornell. And unless you're under a rock, you don't know what's going on in that. And that was like very shocking news for everybody, I'm sure. And it affected me because I'm a drummer, and I've always wanted to be a singer, but I'm a drummer. The one guy that I always thought had the best voice, and if I ever could sing like this guy, it was Chris Cornell. I even wanted to hire a vocal teacher once, and I asked him, can you make me sing like Chris Cornell? Because I think he's the epitome of everything rock and roll. And I'll get more on him later, because I want to do a little special musical chat and tribute to him at the end, before I sign off tonight. But you know, the facts are still coming in as to what happened to him, and of course there's the pills and uh, the hanging and everything, and you know, not to get graphic, but the reality is something went down, and a lot of people jump to a lot of opinions really fast. People, if it's strictly a suicide type thing, people jump and start blaming someone, say, how could you do that, it's selfish, and you know, what were you thinking, and you had the greatest life and the greatest voice, you know. If there was influence also from pills, you know, then there's also like, why are you taking those? And I mean, there's just all the questions that people are really formatting judgments so quickly when they're not in other people's shoes. And I think what really spearheads that train of thought is that things like depression, drug addiction, anxiety, suicidal tendencies are not viewed by a large part of the world as actually illnesses or diseases. And you know, most people, I don't want to say most, I hate that, but a lot of people, I think if they can't feel it, see it, touch it, you know, then they can't call it sick or ill or whatever. It's in your head, and you can change that. If you have cancer, you can't change that. You're sick. But if you have mental illness, or if you have depression or anxiety, that's just in your head, and you know, fix it, or here, take this pill and just feel better. And that's what a lot of is happening in general, is people are just being given the pill. And there are times and places where pills work and are helpful to people, and there are times when they become the crutch and they're not working on the core of the problem. And so you know, we have to look a little differently at what pharmaceuticals are and how they affect people. With regards to what he took, I happen to know this pill actually well. I believe they call this Ativan. Yeah. Ativan. They gave this to me in the hospital. So, so I know what this feels like. What's interesting is that I've taken this a couple times, and it has actually helped me, because I was, you know, tied up to a bunch of cords out of my chest, feeding me chemotherapy, while this is swelling and tight, and you know, making my world a little tense, and the anxiety gets up there. So that helped me. But to stay on these things is where the problem happens. Is to, instead of using these things to get over something we're dealing with, it's becoming the thing that we rely on above anything else. So that's when, you know, stupid things happen, mistakes happen. And that's why I feel really kind of bummed to hear all the different things that are possibly making this the reason it is. But I think the most important thing to, you know, understand is that when someone has any kind of problem that leads to needing to take a pill, they need to be viewed a little differently in the world, and they need to be approached differently, and there needs to be more appropriate ways of helping people. If a doctor is smart enough to see that someone has an anxiety problem, because I've suffered from anxiety a long time, and if the doctor is smart enough to see that, then the doctor should be smart enough to say, hey, you know, maybe there's another protocol we can put you with, with doing these pills, and see if we can get to the core of some issues, because we're patching things up, and I hate to see that happen. And so I really want to just use this as a talking point for people to really come with love and speak of illnesses like addictions and stuff as illnesses, and just like a cancer, because you know, it's really, in my opinion, a cancer and anxiety disorder or depression, they're in the same world. They're things that are inside of you or that are happening to you that are taking you down, and that you need to overcome in order to survive, because you both can't be there forever, and eventually one's going to win. So you know, a lot of people actually overcome things physically, but they don't do the internal soul work. They don't do the spirit work, so that they can, stay clear of that, stay strong from that. And a lot of people will think that they're physically done, but unless you do the personal work, you haven't gotten over what caused things in the first place. And the personal work is so very important. And so you can clear an illness physically, but never clear the cause. Or you may never clear the illness physically, but you may clear the cause and have ultimate peace if that's the way things go. So, man, it's heavy. I don't know. A while back we did a film, in case you don't remember, it's called Welcome to Where You've Always Been, which we just finished our festival tour on, and this dealt with a poet who was depressed and suicidal. And this was from a character who felt like he wasn't present in the world and not seeing the blessings around him, and no matter what he did, he came from pain, always in pain. And eventually the pain drove him so far that he almost took his own life, and that's kind of in the general direction of where his storyline starts. As artists, there's a lot of pain because a lot of the brilliance that we see from the best artists out there come from hurt and pain and trouble. A lot of times we say the most evolved are the ones who are most scarred, because you go through so much to get there. So while the world is seeing maybe a rock god on the stage, giving it to them, what got them to that point is the really hard stuff. And that journey that produces the brilliant artwork, music, or other things is what also continues to haunt them. And think about it too, you're going over these really difficult times, and then you're bringing them up and re-bringing them up, and so you're almost living in the trauma of what caused you to write that song in the first place, or whatever led you to create that piece of art. So I think on the highest level, as you're an artist and you're growing, trying to deliver your message, it can get more and more challenging, and I can see how life can get really anxiety driven, especially when you're on the road. I mean, that's a big reason why I'm more focused on enacting in a film career and building my studio here than I am on touring with bands as of late, because the idea of living that lifestyle, being gone so much, and a lot of the patterns and the things you see in that world no longer became something that I want to be part of. And I see like a guy like Chris who flew home for Mother's Day and spent time with his wife and his kids, and then back to join the tour like that. That's amazing and shows what kind of a person he is, but it also shows that when he leaves his family behind, he ends up in a city with more baggage than just what he has brought with him, if you know what I'm saying, and that ultimately creates that anxiety that becomes very, very difficult to deal with. And so I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say on this subject, because there's a lot we could go over, obviously, in time, but I wanted to kind of turn directions a little bit and say, the unfortunate that this has happened, and Chris, and the fact that people all over suffer from different things, depression and illness and disease and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people, and we're a big crowd who all kind of are in this together, so everyone needs to sort of loosen up a little bit on each other and accept and tolerate a little bit more, embrace different ideas that people are just trying to get through and get by, and try not to judge other people until you understand what it's like to really walk in their shoes, no matter what level they're at, because you never know what your judgment could be doing to people too. So it's okay. Let's switch gears, because I'm a rambling man right now. I'm a little tired. Sorry guys. This wipes me out. I get going a little bit, I get moving, I get grooving, and then somehow this kind of weighs me down a little bit. I got a port still inside of me, and it's just, I take it easy. I've learned in these last couple days that I gotta take it easy and slow my roll, because my body says it's time. I'm normally go like a lunatic, but it's time to rest. So I've been in the movie zone lately. I've been chilling. I've been letting my body rest. But today I definitely wanted to do a little something special, so I put in some extra effort to talk to you guys. I'm gonna do one more thing here, and then a little special musical tribute, and then we'll sign off for the night. For some chlorophyll water. So, what I wanted to talk about was first a little, because it's Chris Cornell. This is my tribute to him. I saw him first perform live 1992, Lollapalooza, Chicago. I think it was the World Amphitheater. Line up with Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Ice Cube. Like, that was an amazing show. And so I saw them for the first time all the way back then. I saw them most recently 2 summers ago when they played the Hollywood Bowl with 9 Inch Nails, and my oldest buddy Jonas scored us front row tickets, and I sat with Mike and Sky, and we watched this happen literally from the front row at the Hollywood Bowl. And from being in the lawn section at Lollapalooza in 1992, dating myself, to being in the front row at the Hollywood Bowl with Chris Cornell standing above me belting a note that I could only dream of belting, was a really sort of weird, cool thing of life. I want to celebrate the man that Chris Cornell was. He founded Soundgarden in 1984. You know, like, think about, we talk about the grunge era, killing rock and roll. I mean, I'm a product of the whole era, and so I love my 80s cock rock and roll, but while the hair metal was still hanging on and still trying to reinvent, you know, there were already bands like that, them doing their thing and starting to build their own following with this different kind of music. And Chris's voice I would put up against anybody's these days. I think it's one of those voices that's, you know, stands the test of time in a sense as a rock voice. It doesn't, like, I love Sebastian Bach and the 80s sounding voice, you know, the powerhouse voices, but those definitely fit in a certain time and space where I think his definitely didn't. So first Soundgarden album I got was Bad Motorfinger on cassette. The song Searching with My Good Eye Closed. I must have played that song a million times. I don't know what the case is. I have Super Unknown, but someone stole it, so the hell with that. I even got who's that dude playing bass? That guy was in the band for a minute. Hiro Yamamoto. This is a little cool EP that was old. 1990, I think. So it's really interesting that Chris Cornell had already do a tribute in record for a person who lost their life too soon. Of course, that person being Andrew Wood. Mother Love Bone. For you youngins out there, live it, learn it, love it. This, even though they really had one album and a few extra tunes, this is kind of a hits here. They're still, I think, to this day, one of the best rock and roll bands of all time. And I can't even imagine what this band would have done had Andrew Wood not died. Andrew Wood and, of course, Chris Cornell were like best buddies and roommates. And when he died, and this was his boy, he got together with a couple members of this band, and they recorded this record, Temple of the Dog, tribute. Beautiful songs by a combination of Soundgarden and Mother Love Bone members. Of course, shortly after this, the members of Mother Love Bone reformed and made this. This is actually really one of the best albums of all time also, I think, Pearl Jam 10. But it's weird. This ended up being this. They're both great, but different. But yeah. Anyway, and then of course, let's not forget this. Singles. Which actually this movie Chris Cornell appeared in, and he had the really long hair back then. and he was like the quintessential rock star of the era when he appeared in this film. So freaking cool, dude. He was so badass, man. Yeah, so that's my sort of walking through time, and now I'm going to do one final thing, which is the biggest fear of all, and you guys are going to join me to work through this because hey, I have cancer, and why the fuck not? But this Temple of the Dog record, it's great. It's a great album, and the fact that it was made for the passing of an amazing lead singer, frontman, rock and roll guy, and now the guy who's on this needs his own record made in tribute, and I'm sure one will happen because that's how influential his voice is. So what I want to do is play a little number for you, not off the record, off of me, and this is something I want to do as a tribute, and there's a lesson here in what I'm about to do as well, and it's not just this. I am a drummer. I said that earlier. I play some other instruments, but guitar and singing are two things that I never excelled in, never learned how to do, and just always wanted to do, and especially singing. And that's why so much of this chat has been about Chris and everything. I used to be terrified of singing in front of people because I felt like I had to live up to an expectation. I didn't want to do karaoke because I felt like people would judge me for singing badly because I'm a musician and I'm supposed to be good. And so I robbed myself of all karaokeing in life up until about I don't know, maybe 6 years ago or something was the first time. So now I do it more frequently because I'm starting to care less, but I love the idea of singing, and I want to actually learn one day. But in the meantime, I need to just let it happen and let my voice go because it's something that I want to do, and I'm always scared of doing it. So this is first and foremost a lesson of how Justin is going to make an ass of himself for you so that you too can do something today or tomorrow that you were fearing. I haven't played this guitar in about a year, I think, since we've been in this new place, and I haven't tried singing in a long time. Also, I decided to play a song for you that I don't know. So I printed out the lyrics and the chords, and I practiced it for a little bit today. And on my steel string guitar, my fingers already hurt, and that's just the way it's going to be. So my strings are going to crack, my voice is going to crack, my tone's going to be everywhere, but so what? The reason I want to say this is because intention. I'm going to do this song from a place of intention, and I think if you're going to go and do something that you're scared of doing, the best thing you can do is stay in the intention and keep the intention authentic. My intention is, aside from doing this to come over fear, is to pay a tribute to the one singer that if I could learn how to be a lead singer, I'd want to be a singer like. That's the one guy. And so it's a tribute to him. And my intention is pure, that I'm going to do a song that he sang, that's ballsy, and and I'm going to do it as a tribute to him, knowing that I don't have to sing like him in order to sing his song. And my intention is pure, and that's what it is. So if you want to do something that you're scared of doing, I would say if your intention is pure, it doesn't matter if you look like a fool, because what you're doing is so noble that that's going to drive you through it and people will cheer you on. It's when you start looking for people to judge you and make fun of you is when you find it. You project your own self-worth issues onto other people, and therefore you receive back what you're feeling as rejection or judgment, and what it is really is you not saying, hey, I'm not being authentic to my intention. So make your intention as authentic for whatever you're going to do, and then you can go forward into your fear. Okay, now I've done that, I'm going to see how much energy I actually have. If I waver in and out, please understand that I do have a 13 centimeter tumor in my chest that might be making me a little harder to sing, strum a guitar. But we're gonna do it. So we're gonna do this one song, and then we're gonna say goodnight, because I got some vegan pizza waiting for me that our friend Deborah brought us. So I am gonna slouch a little bit. Here because it's more comfortable for my chest, because this thing is still just a little too tight to sit forward. It's going down. It'll be fine soon. It will be perfectly unswollen in a day or two. And I'll be a happy guy. Alright, let me see how this frames up. Bear with me. I know, you guys probably can check your other messages or whatever while I'm doing this. There's a million things to distract you online as it is, right? So there's always something else to do. Let's see. I gotta bring a stand in here. Obviously, I don't have this memorized. Okay, let's see. How's that? Can I even see this? My eyes ain't what they used to be. Okay. I think I push this further back a little bit, maybe. I don't know how loud I'll be. Alright. We're going to do this, guys. So, the song, an easy one, I guess. But the most appropriate song, it may be cliche, of course, and that's okay. Because this is the most appropriate song for today that they wrote back then for Andrew Wood. And the song is called Say Hello to Heaven. So I'm going to strum a little, get my voice for a second, make sure that I'm in tune, and then I'm just gonna roar it for y'all. Rippin'. Okay. Oh, by the way, feel free to sing along at home. That is totally encouraged, because that'll help me out, since I'm not gonna be singing as strong as I would like to. And let's go. Let's do it. Let's see how this guitar sounds. Make sure it's in tune. Sounds pretty good. Okay. Good enough, actually. I mean, what's the difference, right? Guys, I'm nervous. You know that? My hands are sweaty. I'm nervous to sing. That's why I did this video live, by the way. When it wasn't working, the suggestion was made, should I do the video and record it and then post it? And I said no, because then I'm not accountable to do this, because I'm not live. And then I'll chicken out, or I'll edit something and do something post-production and not be raw and vulnerable and open and honest. And that's what I have to do right now for you. So, with sweaty hands and palms and all, Say Hello to Heaven by Temple of the Dog. Yeah. It hurts so bad like a soul breaking, but it never said nothing to me. Yeah, say hello to heaven, heaven. Going so hard. Say hello to heaven, heaven. We got this. Like a baby, lost like a bird. The sky was your playground, but the cold was your escort bed. Poor stargazer, like a whisper, she had nails on moves with time. Now it seems like too much love. It's never enough. Okay, we got this. No. You better seek out another road, baby. This one has ended up. Say hello to heaven, heaven. Come on. Say hello to heaven, heaven, heaven. Say hello to heaven, heaven, heaven. Okay, one more verse. We can do it. We can do it. We're not going to stop until the song's over. If you've tuned out by now, I don't blame you. Actually, I do. Stick around. You never know, I might get better. This would be where the solo is anyway, I think, right? So let's try something. I never wanted to write these words down for you. With these pages of phrases, things that will never do. So I'll blow out the candle and I'll put you to bed. Since you say you can't, how the, I got this part wrong. Since you this is where it changes. Since you can't say, struggling through the song, we're gonna get through it. Since you can't say how the dogs broke your bone. Alright, the meltdown. Okay. We're just gonna wrap it up with one more chorus. And we're going to give myself an A for effort. Say hello to heaven, heaven, heaven. Say hello to heaven, 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 yeah. Say hello. Say hello to heaven. probably like one person left on here right now. I hope you're all actually having a chuckle. I hope there's laughter, because laughter is good medicine. And you may laugh at me because I did this for you. I did this for you and for me. And so that concludes my performance. But you know what? I think now that I'm going to be around, in this sort of relaxingville, and why not? I think I'm going to start playing a little more guitar. And I'm going to start working on more songs. And maybe I'll even bring you guys a song every couple days, and we can see if I get better. And maybe a few of you singers out there will come over and give me some singing lessons. And maybe some guitar lessons. Ooh, I'm open for that. Come visit me. This will be fun. This is an adventure, man. This is what my view of cancer looks like. So I want to have fun. I want to do stupid shit. I want to talk to you guys. I want to rant about subjects, and you can listen or not. I don't care. I want to just live free and clear of judgment, and live and love everyone, and send positive, beautiful messages to everybody I possibly can. And I hope everyone who watched me tonight is having a wonderful day and a great week. And thank you for sticking around, especially those who've made it through my amazing rendition of Temple of the Dog song. That's going to go down in history as one of the best of all time. But thank you for hanging out, and thank you for your love, and everyone who's been bringing food and snacks and treats. It's been amazing so far this week. So if you want to come over and hang out with us, we have this beautiful link. It's in the it's in the description. It's for Meal Train, and you can sign up and come over. Some people are coming over with food. I need to eat. I need to keep my weight up. You can come over with joy. You can come over and help Mary with chores, or help with the cats, or whatever. Like that stuff all is really cool. It helps us out a lot because I'm limited in what I can do and work and things like that. And I'm just trying to relax and keep loving myself, loving you, loving the process, loving the journey, and sending love and light to everyone tonight. Sending love and light to everyone suffering from cancer or affected by cancer. Sending love and light to everyone in this world who's been affected by depression, anxiety, suicide, especially if it's your family. I have my deepest sympathy, and I put a thought in my brain for every single person out there who's like that right now. And one final shining star for Mr. Chris Cornell. I love you, man. You are an inspiration. Thank you for the great music and all the great years. And rest in peace, my friend. I hope your soul is free. And for the rest of you, have a wonderful weekend. Shabbat Shalom. Rock and roll. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Namaste. Peace, love, happiness. Shalom.